Over 1,000 years ago, 4 of the most powerful wizards and witches of the age united to build a stronghold for magic. They were the architects of the wizarding world: Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, and Hufflepuff. But they didn't just leave behind a school. Each founder left behind a legendary relic, an object infused with their specific genius and their deepest secrets. From a sword that is technically alive to a diadem that drove a daughter to betrayal. Why did these ancient artifacts become the targets of the darkest wizard in history? And which founder's legacy was ultimately the most dangerous? Godric Gryffindor was the duelist of the group. A man who believed that magic was useless without the courage to wield it. His relic is the only one of the 4 that was never turned into a Horcrux, and for good reason. It fights back. The Sword of Gryffindor was forged by Ragnarok I, the finest goblin silversmith in history. But it possesses a unique metallurgical property that defies physics. Goblin silver repels dirt and imbibes only that which makes it stronger. This means the sword is essentially a learning computer. When Harry used it to stab the basilisk in the Chamber of Secrets, the sword didn't just kill the snake. It drank the venom. At a molecular level, the blade fused with the basilisk poison. It transformed from a sharp piece of metal into a vessel of absolute destruction, capable of destroying Horcruxes that are immune to almost all other magic. It is the ultimate weapon, not because it is sharp, but because it evolves. And yet, this wasn't the relic Voldemort feared the most. Up next, Salazar Slytherin was a genius, a Parselmouth, and a supremacist. He believed magic should be a closed ecosystem, kept pure by blood. His relic, the locket, reflects this obsession with defense and secrecy. Constructed of heavy gold with a serpentine S inlaid with glittering green stones, this wasn't just jewelry. It was a vault. The locket possessed a sentient security system. It could only be opened by a Parselmouth, someone who spoke the language of snakes. This ensured that only a true heir of Slytherin could ever access its contents. When Voldemort turned it into a Horcrux, he twisted its defensive nature into a psychological weapon. We saw its power on Ron Weasley. The locket doesn't just sit around your neck, it whispers to you. It taps into your insecurities, amplifies your fears, and slowly erodes your sanity. It is a piece of soul that fights to protect itself by destroying the mind of the wearer. Next, Rowena Ravenclaw, the Lost Diadem. Rowena Ravenclaw was the most brilliant witch of her time. Her philosophy was simple. Wit beyond measure is man's greatest treasure. Her relic, the diadem, was an enchanted tiara, said to enhance the wisdom of the wearer. In theory, wearing it would sharpen your cognitive functions, allowing you to understand complex magic instantly. It was a cheat code for genius. But this relic carries the darkest history of them all. It wasn't stolen by a thief. It was stolen by her own daughter, Helena Ravenclaw. Driven by jealousy of her mother's intellect, Helena stole the diadem and fled to Albania, hoping to become smarter than Rowena. This betrayal broke Rowena's heart and arguably led to her death. The diadem remained lost for centuries, a symbol of arrogance and envy, until Voldemort, another wizard obsessed with his own intelligence, found it and defiled it with dark magic. The object meant to grant wisdom became a vessel for a madman's soul. Next, Helga Hufflepuff, the Golden Cup. Helga Hufflepuff is often underestimated, but she was likely the most skilled in charm work and food-related magic. She brought the house elves to Hogwarts to ensure they had a safe refuge. Her relic, the cup, is a small golden chalice with 2 finely wrought handles and the badger engraving. While its specific magical powers aren't explicitly detailed in the books, lore suggests it was likely enchanted to never empty, or to purify whatever liquid was placed inside it, a symbol of Hufflepuff's nature as a provider. There is a cruel irony in its fate. Voldemort entrusted this cup, an object representing loyalty and hard work, to Bellatrix Lestrange, who hid it in the Gringotts vault. The cup, a symbol of giving, was surrounded by the Gemino curse, a spell that multiplies objects to crush and suffocate thieves. It went from a vessel of generosity to a trap of greed. 4 founders. 4 relics. 1 became a weapon that saved the world. The other 3 became anchors for a monster's immortality. It proves a grim truth about magic. Objects are only as noble as the wizards who wield them. Even the purest legacy can be corrupted if it falls into the wrong hands. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Hogwarts history, please donate or subscribe to fund the next video.